up, friends? This is Jazz bringing you another Sims Let's Talk. This time we're on a different family. It's my just regular playthrough family. So it is the 8 chicas, I think. This is not the 100 baby family I was playing with. This is a generational family I was playing with. And this is the second generation. I never showed much of the first, obviously. Now, most of this video is going to be me talking, like, updating that. This one isn't as story type heavy as the first part was, and I may have rammed on the gameplay a little bit long. I apologize, but you know what, it gives me time to catch up and to think about things to talk about, and just kind of like, so just pay attention to the game footage if you'd like. As I said, there's no sense or story to it. It's me kind of playing how I usually play, only I'm narrating over it. So, we have Ryan and Chica, but I'll introduce you guys to her. It's Ryan. There's Pearl. She was named after my grandmother. Miriam Chica, that is Pearl's wife. Aline Ishuka, that is Ryan's wife, and they're also sisters. I thought they're almost like twins, I think. There is Colin Chica and Jackson Chica, and that is Ryan and Aline's twin sons. Finally, we got Emmett Chica, which is Pearl and Miriam's son. So, to let you know, Miriam is able to get pregnant, I believe, and Pearl I made able to impregnate others, so I kind of made it so she works in the technology field. Aline works in the in the fashion or styler career. Ryan is a painter. But anyway, that's what I meant. Miriam works in the not the technology career, but the social networking career is what I mean. And Pearl is an actress, just like her mother before her. Now, I don't know if I'm going to plan to make one person each generation an actor or actress. I'm thinking I already have somewhat paths for these three right here. Like, for example, Jackson, I think, might be an entertainer. And with Colin, I am not, actually, he's the one I'm the most unsure about. Emmett, I'm thinking might be an athlete. You know, but I might be able to make Colin into an actor. I don't know. But I'm trying to move these generations. Like, I might keep these three in the household and work on a family for each of them. So, like, I had two other kids in Ryan and Pearl's generation, and I'm trying to remember their names. For the life of me, I do not know. But they were the youngest children of the family, and they moved out, and they did have families of their own. I just don't focus on them as much, because it's hard to focus on all these families, especially when I'm doing big careers that require full time. Because when I moved to the other building, it literally stops, it doesn't pause the game or anything. Time goes, and the thing is, they don't do things themselves. A neighborhood brawl. Oh, I love this time of day. But I really need to start getting some charisma. I need her to get her charisma to level 6. So far, she doesn't really have to do anything. She has a full guitar, I think, or fitness. Not full, I mean, like, past the required skill level. And this is only the addition. I actually got her mother to level 10 in acting. And it's a very fun career to go through. Also, just to get up on some more news, finally the guy shipped my Ruby and Fire Red. Now I can expect it anywhere from March, which is unlikely, to June. Well, it says to May, but since he shipped it so late, I might give him a week after what it says there, or 2. So, also, by the time you guys see, no, not by the time you guys see this, but I do plan to buy the new game pack, Strangerville. I'm saving for it, and hopefully by the end of the week, which you guys have already seen this, maybe I'll update you in the next Sims Talk. I would have bought it. But I'm just really looking forward. Oh shoot, one of our plants died. But I'm really looking forward to playing Strangerville. It might be an interesting thing for me to go through with you guys. I have no idea. Also, you know what, guys? I know half of you may not notice or even ask about it. Some of you might think, though, is that half of my gamers' pickups, like, I look either so different or it seems like I'm getting a lot or whatever. And in a sense, I, am, right? And it may seem like I talk about things in other senses, like that had happened or whatever, but that's because I record a lot of those things in advance. And the thing is, I am so lucky to be able to get games, some of the free games stuff on Steam, because it helps me with the gamers' pickups. And that, I mean, for, a lot of my games that I pick up aren't always physical games. And most of them are games that I can get for free. Doesn't mean I don't like to go and get new games and buy new games, but obviously, especially now, I'm starting to learn to prioritize my money. And so, since that's important, I gotta really decide what I want when I buy a game. Now, you guys are thinking, well, what games do I might have come up in the future that I want to buy? Like, as a Strangerville is one. I am thinking the next game after Strangerville I'll either save for, and don't keep my word on either of them right away, is either The Walking Dead, the final season, or the 2 final DLCs for South Park The Fractured Butthole, which is the Dawn to Casa Bonita and, Mintberry Crunch thing, like the one with Mintberry Crunch. Specifically, if I had to choose only one, would be the Mintberry Crunch one, because I love the fact it takes place at the camp that Jimmy and Timmy went to, and plus you can earn badges and that, so it sort of means a lot to me having special needs myself and having something I can kind of relate to, you know? So The Walking Dead final season, it depends on several things. I do plan manga DC, especially if you're watching this. I sort of doubt, because it's Sims. He doesn't seem like a Sims person, and this is incredibly long. But I do plan to get The Walking Dead final season. As I said, there's a lot that's going on when it comes to that one. I want to make sure what? Okay. Yes, it was awful. But anyway, one, it has to have the whole thing done, like all 4 episodes. And 2, it sounds like there's a chance that it might actually get a physical copy release. I'm researching into that. And if I can get a physical copy, I would rather the physical copy over a digital copy. For one, it requires less space on my Switch. And 2, well, I have something physical for it. I have a case and whatever, a game case, and it looks a lot better on your shelf. And even my Aunt Kathy always said she'd prefer me to have the real thing, the physical thing, over anything else. I mean, if there's no other way to get it besides digital, she does understand. If I really want a game badly, she'll let me get it digital. But if there is a choice, she prefers me to get the physical one. Now, for example, the DLCs don't often have physical copies, and that's different. So, like, the South Park DLC I'd be able to get, no problem. Like, each of them are like $15, $16, and I mean, I could save 2 weeks worth of money, or two work cycle worth of money, and buy it. And I mean, right now, those are the two main, or three if you count the 2 DLC, but I'll count the DLC as one. Those are 2 things that I really want. One other game I am sort of considering, again, this one really don't hold me to heart, is I'm thinking of that game from Steam, Kindergarten. It is a fun game, right? I've tried a little bit. I'll confess, sometimes to try things, I do download them. And you're thinking, then why don't you, like, I didn't buy it, right? I'm not going to include that. I didn't buy it. So, and I just tried to see how it, like, any PC game, I want to see how it works on my PC. Like, after what happened with the Fractured Butthole, like, for the like, Steam, I'm being careful. Right? So, and if it works and I find it's a good game to support, then I go and buy it. That's just how I do. I mean, some I may not. Like, the three, like, for example, the free games are free. Like, if something is wrong with it, I can just get rid of it. So, but I plan to pick up Kindergarten because it's, from what I've played, it's a decent game from what I tested out. So guys, there you have it, though. A confession, I download games, though, as I said, it's for testing purposes than anything else. As I said, like, I don't want to ever waste my money again if it's not going to work. So, yeah, but who else, as I said, who else have had bad issues like me when it came to getting a game and then paying a lot of money for it and it turned out not working? I mean, honestly, that's another reason I'll confess that I know I am never getting the The Walking Dead final season on the PC, is that I tested it. Like I did, I said, most of my games, and it does not run well at all on my computer. So even if I have to record it with the camera on the Switch, I'm going to get the Switch version. I honestly wish I had it. I mean, my PC is great, all things considered, for what it does. But I've had better, a graphics card or something like that. Then I'd be able to play some of the games that I wanted to play with better, like, precise. Like the South Park Fractured Butthole, I technically also own it on the PC, but it does not work. Like, it will you'll go to the main menu, hit the start button, and it will not load at all. It'll go into a certain background, but not load. There was one time that I had almost a false excited scare, but then it lasted like not even 10 minutes, and then I shut it off, and then it would do the same thing again. So I pretty much gave up on that version of the game. I mean, if I ever had a chance to get this computer updated with some of the proper graphics and sound quality, maybe I'll see if it would work. But right now, I mean, I would want to do some research to make sure it's worth even trying. And if I were to, I would have to make sure that I would know and find a person that knew how to, knew how to install it for me or to teach me. Actually, someone would have to install it for me, more than likely. But yeah, as I said, like, even after me saying all this right now, you will see some gamers pickups that show me pick up games that seemed, pricey, but they've been purchased before now, right? They were just uploaded at a later time. But all these games, I do have them. Some of them had stopped working, like Lucius 2. That's just so stupid. That's another thing you can never be too careful for. Things seemingly running great and then stop working. Maybe I'll see if I can redo it or something. But I mean, either way, you're not ever getting a Lucius 2 Let's Play. For one, anyway, I did not do well with... I mean, I did well with the first game for a good point, but... I mean, honestly, it's just stupid. But any game, right now I have 48 gamers pickups recorded and up on this channel. Now, they were from a long time back as well, so that's what I do. Like, if I have games, sometimes I leave them backed up, sometimes I record it right away when I get them, but I separate the videos. So, I mean, that's another trade secret of mine, just to build up, right? And that means by the time it comes closer to the time that it would be up, I might have had more recorded for you. So up to, I have 48 right now that are up on the channel, just not uploaded. And up to that, I bought games more randomly. But at this point, unless, like, I will still definitely get games that I can get for free and add them to the gamers pickup. But I am going to focus on games that I'm really wanting from this point forward. So yeah, we got that figured out. What else is there? I mean, there is quite a bit more to update on. It just needs to come to my head. Well, work went okay for me last week. I didn't miss any work last week, which for me is, as I said, for those of you who are more close friends of mine who know I have severe anxiety and autistic traits, as I said, I'm not necessarily diagnosed on the autism spectrum, but people I've seen, whether it was a counselor or even a psychiatrist at one point, says that I certainly do have autistic traits. And there was a time where I was going to be under the process for evaluation, but he got fired like the week after I first saw him. I'm not going to mention names, though, for privacy's sake. And who knows if he watches my videos or not. So, and there was a lot going on, and I could not get a new psychiatrist for that. So the way I look at it is, I've been told by some family, well, not a whole bunch, like one or two family members, a counselor, a psychiatrist, that I certainly have traits of autism. Not classic autism, but the autism spectrum. But the way I see it is, I will think like that, right? Like, I won't deny it. I do have traits, like, I can be very narrow-minded in a way. I mean, so can neurotypical, as they say, individuals, but me more so. Like, for example, like, if I'm into something, I am almost obsessed with it, right? And I do remember, and I'll tell you what I mean, whenever I talk to you guys, I do feel comfortable, and I'll tell you what I do feel comfortable telling you. If I don't feel comfortable saying something, I won't. But I remember when I was in that appointment with the psychiatrist, my aunt just kept telling me she does nothing but she's focused and she loves her games and she almost doesn't want to do nothing else, whatever, right? And that was one of those things that put him to agree that I might be on the spectrum. In fact, he was almost talking so much as if he was already sure. So that part, what's the right way to word it? That way I am not so convinced. I mean, I am convinced that I do have traits. That part for sure. But he just seemed so quick to almost give me that label, and we weren't even in a proper evaluation at this point. He was talking to my aunt, like, if I already was. And to answer your question, that after hearing this, that you might, I said, I don't know, you might not be given a hoot. To each their own. Like, where on the spectrum do you necessarily think I am, if I am, right? Well, the guy said either Asperger's syndrome or pervasive developmental disorder, not otherwise specified, or PDD-NOS, which that diagnosis is pretty much the diagnosis you would receive if, in a lot of ways, you didn't fit any of the other two typical autism diagnoses, whether it was classic autism or Asperger's. Now, those with the PDD-NOS may have a lot of neurotypical traits and just make the autism spectrum disorder diagnosis. So, for example, if they were a few points off, like if they're giving you points for an evaluation and you were a few points off, you may not get an autism diagnosis. And I have taken other pre-tests before, and I have gotten the just kind of, just the possible like, there was 3 categories. 1, there is no way you are autistic. Like, you might show traits, but there's no way you're autistic. The middle, there could be a possible autism diagnosis if you were to go to see someone. And the third was more than likely you would get an autism diagnosis if you were to go in. And I barely got the third category. So I was between, you might get an autism diagnosis, and you definitely would get some type of autism spectrum disorder diagnosis. Now, how I feel about self-diagnosis, I think it is possible, but the one thing is, you wouldn't, like, if you were to go to a school or a work environment that wasn't where I work, like, if I were to go and work at Tim Hortons, for example, or Starbucks, wherever you are, I couldn't get special accommodations for an autistic individual. But where I work, they work on everyone's special needs, regardless whether it's autism or Down syndrome or ADD, ADHD, behavior problems. So they work on you, right? Necessarily not the diagnosis, but I could say to one of the staff, I do have autistic traits. This bothers me. I really struggle with this. And they would have I hosted, what? Oh, did I get a, more social points? Or more celebrity points? Cool, he's level 2. Finally, this guy's level 2. What was I going to say? But yes, now I remember. Like, where I work will accommodate all needs. So I would be more likely to say, okay, I really struggle with adapting a change in routine. They'll say, okay, well, here's your schedule. Where if I was working at any other establishment, I wouldn't be able to get that type of coverage because I have not gotten a formal autism diagnosis. But I feel, in a sense of the word, as if there's a good chance that I may not. And I'm definitely not in standards of classic autism. Someone might talk to me for an hour and say, how could someone think she's autistic? Right? I mean, and that would be from an adult's perspective. If I were talking to someone my own age, or even a teenager, a late teenager, like 17, or like 16 and up, you might notice my social differences. Right? If I'm talking to a small child or an adult, I am completely comfortable, right? And I seem almost smart. Like, the area I work at, as I'm not going into too much detail, a lot of the clients there have more needs, right, than the ones in my old building. So, a lot of the staff say I am incredibly high-functioning and bright. Right? In fact, some of the other individuals working there sometimes think I am staff. And I mean, it sort of feels nice, but at the same time, I know I'm not downplaying my intelligence at all. I know I am intelligent, right? But I do sometimes feel bad because, in a way, when you're working at that area, you're kind of taught everyone is equal. Staff, yes, they have certain things they can do because they've been trained to manage individuals with special needs, and they have that job to just manage, right? So even those clients who are higher functioning, there's certain things that, they can't, I couldn't go up to, for example, I didn't mention his name, so I'll say it, Ryan. I can't go up to my friend Ryan and say, you can't do that, or don't do this, or whatever. I would get into trouble, because, no matter what, I'm not a staff. It's up to a staff to handle any situation. I mean, okay, obviously, if there is no staff there and one of the clients who could be in real danger of doing something, of course, I'm not going to, no matter what, I'm not going to just sit there and let them get seriously hurt. And I'm sure they would even agree with that if the worst came to worse. But in any other circumstance, 99% of the time, there's always a staff somewhere close by that you could just holler their name and let them handle it. And that's what the proper thing for me to do in my case. So, in other words, I am incredibly intelligent, and yes, they will accommodate to my intelligence to what they can. But when it comes to the other clients, I'm no different than them. I am, but I'm no different than them. I cannot be in charge of them, right? I can help, I can assist, I read to some of the clients, and I can assist in that way, but I can't do any responsibility type of thing. For example, there was a situation where one client was just being rude, and I knew not to say anything to them, because if I did, I would be being just as rude as they were, and it's up to the staff to handle that situation. And there were moments, right, where I would want to, but I know better. I know far better than that. And it's funny, I appreciate being told I'm intelligent, but sometimes I just feel kind of awkward, especially if they said it right in front of all the other clients, because I'm not in that mindset where some people are in the mindset saying, oh, well, some of them, they don't understand. Well, I mean, how do you really know, right? I mean, how do you really know what someone understands and what they don't? Some might not be able to physically say or verbally say anything, but how do you know what's going through their head that they just can't internalize, right? That's the way I see it. I know some of you might think that's kind of ridiculous, right? Because there may be some individuals that you clearly can see may not, but some of you could just say I'm a type of person that, thinks of everyone and treats everyone with respect. Now, okay, obviously if someone was not treating me with respect and they were being genuinely mean, then no, they don't deserve my time or respect. But I don't judge who deserves my time of day or respect over their disability. Right? It's their attitude that I see. One person who was talking to me who was everyone has a program at work, right? And who was talking to me for my program, one thing she notices is that I do not like bullies at all. And I don't. I've been bullied almost... Sorry, I was... Sorry about that, I'm still getting over a cold. But I was bullied almost my whole life. Not like, okay, I know, to be fair, there have been people who had it worse than me. And I am not downplaying their issues at all. Amanda Todd, for example, those YouTube videos, she had it awful. Now, when I say I was bullied my whole life, I probably should have meant on and off my whole life. It hasn't been relentless or anything. Like, I'll tell some stories, I might cover up some names, but I know one of my, I talked to him, there's nothing wrong with him, we're more casual acquaintances now, but one of my best friends at the time, when we were in the 4th grade, used to pick on me, is the way I say it. I know when I was a younger child, like, I think back on it now, and it was not as severe as how I felt when I was in the 4th grade, but back then it was a nightmare, because I had to go through it every day, and, like, yeah, he ended up being one of my best friends after that, and he only really bullied me for that year. It just changed instantly. I do remember my parents did make sure that it was required me and him were in a separate class after that. But then we became good friends. I mean, we never were in the same class again, but we were next door to each other for a while. And when I was in middle school, I would say middle school was the worst for bullying. That was actual. Like, I'm not saying what my friend did was great, and I shouldn't excuse it. No one should pick on anyone no matter what. But when you compare it to what I went through in middle school, it was child's play. And no, I don't mean Chucky. So get your mind off that, right? But it was more, literally more child's play. Like, I was more mean-spiritedly bullied in middle school, where in elementary school with my friend, people always teased that he may have had a crush on me. We'll just say things happened, and I'm not going to share that, but things happened that made me now think not. But yeah, I was incredibly, in 7th grade, and I can't even say for sure in 7th grade, the bullying that I was about to bring up was serious. It was more serious and more scary than in elementary school, but it sounded, he was young. He was like, 11 or 12 years old, and it was more sexual. He never touched me or anything like that. It was more wording, would you like to go sleep with me tonight, or whatever, and at that time it was scary, right? But now thinking back on it, the guy turned out to be a decent guy. He has 2 children of his own and seems like a really great father, so something I don't hold against him, and it might have been childhood, And when I was in, I think 8th grade was not as bad for that, but when I was in 9th grade, I was bullied by quite a few people. There was sexual talk, not as I think there was just name-calling, staring. There was a time where someone threw my bag in the trash, and my tech ed teacher literally made everyone stay until they found it. So it happened in the middle of a class. So it wasn't like out in the hallways or anything, like where that scene happened. In high school, I cannot honestly remember too much that was traumatizing or bad. And I remember middle school, so I think high school was relatively pleasant in comparison. Now, do I want to go back to it? No. I mean, to me, for my anxiety and everything, it wasn't pleasant at all, because by this point, I had a lot of problems with my irritable bowel. Not as much as I do today, but I had a lot of anxiety that way. I didn't like to go to school because of my illnesses and everything. So, yeah. But, yeah. Let's see what I'm up to now. Oh, I'm trying to update. Alright. So, what else is new? Well, I've actually been recording more for my Life is Strange Before the Storm. I have finished the second episode of it. But on the computer, it's harder to record sometimes. Like, I'm lucky some games like this, The Sims so far has been running smoothly. The audio, the game audio, or not audio necessarily, it is the game audio, but it's more of the talking audio. Sometimes the characters will be talking and it'll sound distorted, but I do have the subtitles there, so that shouldn't be as bad, because at least you know what they're saying. But I still want to, like, the game is a fun game. Like, I've been really enjoying playing it, and I've brought the first one to you guys, so I want to try to bring this to you anyway. I honestly don't think, as of right now, that I plan to record Life is Strange 2. Aw, Emmett, or not, yeah, is that Emmett? Or is that Colin? I think it's Emmett. Yeah, his aunt is playing with him. Oh, that's so sweet. I mean, I can understand if it's her own kids, but oh, well, Jackson is level 5. Like, as I said, you probably noticed I've been building up some of this. Oh, never mind, that's her own kid. Oh, wait, no, never mind. That isn't her own kid. That's Colin. Like, Emmett's her kid. Jeez. So she is. Okay, she's still playing. That's so cute. Yeah, I needed to get a picture of that because that is so cute. She's playing with her nephew. I'm all mixed up. I apologize, guys. It's the afternoon, but I've still had to take a cold pill earlier. So that'll explain a little bit of that. Plus, my stomach hasn't been feeling the greatest. Actually, I went to work all of last week, but today it's Tuesday and I'm off again. So, yeah, that's how that goes. Another update is on the 100 subscriber special. Yeah, I'm laughing because it's funny, it's simple enough, right? You would think, because I'm counting down. As I said, I was bringing a countdown for my top 27 or 28 favorite videos on my channel, of all time. And you think, yeah, it's simple enough. Well, no, maybe not the picking it out part. I already did all that. So I did that. So you think, oh, well, I just have to narrate when I think about each video, that add the footage and that together. Yeah, that part, like, it's simple in a way, but at the same time, like, my mind either gets so focused and, oh, I'm sorry, that's just so cute. Jackson and Ryan are reading. Sometimes I love it when they do things that, autonomously. But at the same time, again, back to what I was saying, at the same time, it's so simple, but it's also so, what do they call it? Yeah, I can't honestly think of it. It's so simple, but at the same time so tedious, that's it. But yeah, I think I'll show you my family tree. There's Letitia. And she had Ryan and... Oh, that's Maya. That's Warren, Megan, and Christina on... There's Samuel. That's it, Samuel. And what was the other guy's name? Samuel has Maya. Michael, of course. The names were there, but he's married to Braylon. He's just like his sister Pearl. Oh wait, Juliet. Okay, Samuel's married to. That's their fault. Okay, I know. I apologize. My brain is going everywhere. Ariel. That's her name. But I think it is. Yeah, Michael. Just like Michael, just like his sister Pearl, likes the same sex. Kind of just turned out that way. They have triplets. Yeah, I'm just figuring out this family tree, guys. They have a whole bunch of different people, like the Lotharios, Wards. I say their last name may have been Ward because their brother is. Maybe their mother used to be Ward. I have no idea. So, as I said, the 100 subscriber special is easy but tedious at the same time. Like, I just gotta get my mind into that mindset. Because as of now, by the time I see this, I don't know if this will be true, whether I have more or whether I have less. But as I'm recording this, I got 107 subscribers, so I am slowly growing. Which, okay, when I say slow, it may seem fast, but that's the way I say it. I'm not saying, like, it's fast compared to what it was. I mean, incredibly, but it's slow that it's still a work in progress. And again, I'm sorry if I sound off. As I said, the allergy tablet doesn't help, but also my stomach doesn't help. I mean, it always chooses the most inopportune of times to start bothering me. I could not have anything to do watching a video or doing something like that, and I'd be zippity-doo-dah. And then when I go to do something like this, for example, or whether I'm going to work or something, it chooses then to act up. And I don't know if they said that IBS isn't just caused by food. That's a big factor in it, but it also is caused by anxiety and stress. So I have no idea. Like when I'm doing a video, I should be in a really relaxed state. Like I'm doing the video in my bedroom, for crying out loud. But maybe it's the fact that when I'm doing something like narration like this, well, I'm a lot better because I know now that I can kind of like make pauses by stopping and restarting at a certain point. But it's still nice to be able to get it done. Like, you know what I mean? So, I forget what level Aline is on in the stylist career. But I've been doing a lot better, I think, with planning out stories for the most part for my Sims. I still do struggle, and I don't think I'd ever be able to really make a story on these Sims as much when I'm recording, but it isn't so bad, actually. Like, when I'm playing through on my own, I just really feel it. Like, I feel the characters that I'm playing through. Like, I don't think you would ever see those type of videos where they do a cinematic type of story. But if you want Sims talks like this, for example, oh, he wants to dance. But now he's all crazy and stuck and very confused, and now so am I. Oh, no. Emmett, really, Emmett. Miriam, handle your son. But then again, I suppose Emmett's the wild one. I mean, that's why I named him that. I don't know why, but it just seemed appropriate to name it Emmett. Him, Emmett, I mean. Yeah, you learn responsibility. And we're going to, Yeah, we already gave him a talking to, so we'll hug lovingly. Like, we already gave him a scold, and he doesn't need a talking to. Unless he does it again right away, then he needs a talking to as well. I'm being firm, but... Well, actually, I'm being a little too fair, but he's only a toddler. And honestly, that was the first time he's done... I remember him doing that. Yeah, sometimes, like, that's what's kind of good about having 4 adults in the house now with these 3. I mean, when I was doing that file with the 100 babies, it was a disaster. It's a lot more mellow and calm with the 3 of... Oh, sorry, but it's funny, like, it's funny too trying to figure out when I'm playing what to get them to do, because they each have different careers, and some have certain days off and some work at certain times, so I have to figure out what needs to be done for their career. The toddlers just kind of have to, level up their skill in that. I actually got them some decent friends. Like, that's what I do. I kind of make Sims and make them have friends as they grow up. And then eventually, like, for example, Miriam and Eileen were childhood friends with Ryan and Pearl. So they kind of grew up together. They didn't just go out and date. So that's how the second generation worked. I mean, obviously the mother, Letitia, met someone with Genji, but then I kind of made it so it'd be more familiar, more... You would have more of attachment to all the characters that way. Like, you feel like you grew up with all of them, so... I mean, I obviously couldn't do much for Miriam and Eileen with their skills in that development, but... as children, but once they moved in and that, I worked on every single sim, and I got used to every single one of my sims fairly. But as I said, I've been doing a lot better with getting more story out of my sims and gotta get an attachment, like, getting attached to computer-generated characters. Okay, I don't mean that far. But I mean, you know how sometimes like simmers play their game and they get this little attachment to characters, no matter what it is, that's kind of what it is. Even sims like Miriam and Eileen, never mind. I still, like, these two, for some reason Miriam's easier to remember. Oh, well, it's time for them all to go to school. Well, soon. Now you 3 go to school. You need to do your ABCs, and I actually love that mod. The preschool mod. It literally helps so damn much. It helps, when I say it helps, I mean you can make friends, you can level up your, you can level up your skills, you can level up your values, character values. It is just so useful, especially story-driven. Like, that's where, I mean, I try to have them to make friends at preschool the first time they go, or the second time, either. I make sure they go to school, like, 3 times. Like, the first or second time, I get them to make friends, and then the other time that they're not making friends, the second or first time around, whatever it is, I make sure they listen to the teacher to level up their values. Then the third time, they do the same thing. They level their values. But I want to have one time that they all make friends for a day. And if I don't get what I think I need on that day, then Then I, like, for example, this generation, I had to actually add a gallery family in, because there wasn't enough opposite-gendered toddlers that they met. Now, sometimes I'm okay with that, Like, I let them, sometimes I decide, oh, this character is going to end up being either bisexual or gay or whatever. So, it depends on, like, what I want out of it, because I could always make one of the other Sims either the main sim or the partner sim. I could always make them either be able to give birth to children or to be able to make children or get someone pregnant. So I can work around it. Actually, I find it really interesting when I do a story like that. When I make them able to like have different type of relationships. Although so far I have never did anything really scandalous yet. I don't know, I'm not that deep yet into story making. Usually most of the Sims that get together fit, they don't cheat. But to be fair, there's some of them I could see that they might. There was one Sim that I had that had the mean trait. At least so far it didn't have dislikes children. Oh jeez, you know what, that could just be my luck someday. But I kind of like to put the generation. I mean, I'm not doing 100 babies by any mean, but I kind of like to build the generation up. And, like, that's another oh, no, you're not missing work, Miriam. Like, that's another thing I like about the game Get Life. The only downside is that you can only play as one character, right? And when you die, the whole thing is over. You can't use another one of your family members or anything. I mean, they're updating things, but it's always probably going to be like that. I don't think it's ever going to extend. Green! Oh, good for you, Pearl. Good for you. I actually had no doubt you would. Well, sure. And the funny thing about this is that I did not know that Sydney is a child. How did she fail preschool? I just want to know, did she fail preschool? Because what child goes to preschool? Okay, when I say that, I mean what older child goes to preschool, not. I mean, I know toddlers are children, but that's what I mean, though, like, child, not, you know. Oh, I guess maybe he likes older women? Okay, that sounds wrong, I know. I mean, he's a toddler. I think it was Colin, wasn't it? Boy, Mama should have a word with him. I mean, really? Mama should have a word with him. But no, wait. Oh, wait. Who the oh, wait, yes, I know now what I did. Pearl needs to have some talk time with her castmates, for she could do really well in, you know, her job. One thing, though, I appreciate about this painting thing when it comes to celebrities is that if you paint a masterpiece, it'll still give you celebrity points if you sell it to art gallery. Although otherwise, you can't. I guess it's kind of like you get less money, it makes you look good or something. But I guess they're fair enough to let you sell masterpieces to art gallery for the right price. And I appreciate that a lot. I'm actually slowly building up money, honestly. I've been doing good, and you know what? So far, all the money, right, that I've gotten was pretty legitimately. No codes, no real big family move-in marriage. Like, nothing wrong. Like, I've been earning it through the job that I've been doing. Which is awesome, plus I still have a decent house. I need to edit it eventually. Alright, I need to talk to him. Because I really need to get that... What is it, that job done. Yet it's... Oh, well, it's building up little bit, but little by little. But so far, I've been doing okay on my channel, actually. I've had good... Oh boy, this dude is angry. I don't know what maybe he's just in a bad mood, because I don't think I'm really saying anything offensive or anything. Although, knowing what my Sims are saying, I don't know. But, yeah, I've did some things. Like, I still need to do more card openings. I got one for the last week, but I need to work on them. I need to work on toy openings. They still need some time. I did the reaction video to Scrubs My Musical. I don't know why, I got inspired to do so. Sometimes things like that randomly happen. I just think, oh, this will be fun to do. And I do it. So I could be so spontaneous. But then at the same time, alright, I'm bored. That's the problem with me, is that I can be so spontaneous into something. And then eventually other things, I'm like, oh yeah, I gotta do this, I gotta do this, gotta do this. Like, I have no idea why. Jeez, why is it stuck at 50%? Am I supposed to talk to someone else? I mean, because it just doesn't make sense that it's not moving up. Maybe it's this guy that's the issue. Maybe I need to talk to her. Because he doesn't seem to really be responding to me at all. Except for negativity. Oh, finally! So it is the guy who's the issue. Alright, yes, I need to age up. It's time to age up the boys! They're finally well enough to age up. Right, Colin? We're having the kid's birthday. Eventually. Oh, we are complete with the, to building friendships. So now we gotta work on our athletic and our guitar. Which, the guitar I completely forget till last minute. Yay, Colin! I think you're going to be, right now you're going to be a social butterfly. And you're going to be self-assured. Why not? Oh god, that is so hilarious. He thinks he's gonna have green hair. No, that isn't you. Now you gotta do your homework. Well, everyone's leaving. What? Oh, shoot, what? Okay, something is wrong here. Well, finally. Finally, Jackson ages up. We're going to... And you're going to be in our No, not an art lover. Shoot. And it's the wrong one anyway. A music lover. You're gonna love music. And the hair I don't quite appreciate. You're gonna do your homework. And we have to get our... We need to age you up. With you. What are you... Right, you can practice your speech calling, and what are you doing, Pearl? You're supposed to be getting your son. Actually, I was playing this file after the fact, and it... Okay, I gotta move it. Literally, it shut down on me right after I did a addition and passed it greatly. That just really sucked. Well, it's getting pretty late, so let's hope my luck. Alright, we need to get Emmett. I want him to get aged up before midnight. For he can start school with the rest of his friends. They're almost like siblings to him, actually. Mate. Come on. I do plan for Pearl and Miriam to have another. And I'm gonna make you athletic. Yay. Alright, let's get these guys edited. I like that. And his eyes are red, so that means Colin's eyes will be red. Kind of making them, a good mix. There. Nope. Actually, I like this color. That's nice too. I need to change the shoes though. Alright, so I guess now I got everything done, do I? Yeah, he has red eyes, his shirt. Got this, which actually looks really nice. He's a Pokemon Go fan. Loves his hat too. Yeah, I just want to get into clothes. There he has the beanie again, plus that nice shirt. He's just wearing a nice full-piece suit. I honestly think that's actually really cool looking. And there, I like the jacket a lot. I think I had something similar. Let's go to Jackson, which looks very awkward right now. Here we are. He loves music. I thought that hair was the closest thing that I could use. But he's wearing that t-shirt because it's close enough. I think this is a really nice fancy shirt. It has a CD cassette, so of course. Oh, William's Minecraft. Yeah, I skipped him over. Swim trunks. I think that's actually kind of cute. And there, I like that jacket. Finally, we go into work with Emmett. That's what he looks like now. Here is Emmett now. Kind of reminds me of his mother. Well, I like that on him. He seems like a ruffian in a way. Even being fancy, he isn't fancy. Yep, I thought it would be perfect for the outdoor wear. Just saying. He's just all in a black mood. Ooh, cool party. I actually think those shorts look nice. It's fancy, but not too fancy. And I figured even in the cold weather, you'd wear the least protective thing. So yeah, I think I did really well there. Picking out their stuff, honestly, to kind of suit who they are. Like, Emmett didn't grow out of his hair so much as the others did. You need to do your homework now, Emmett. What were you going to do? Oh, I know now. You were going to... I need to buy a... not an amateur violin, but a prodigy one, because you're going to be the best there is. I mean, if you're going to be a musician, like, if you have to do it right. So we need to find the child play asset. Boy, the second time I said child play in this video. Now we gotta find the true prodigy or something. That's the amateur. We need the best for Jackson. He's gonna be working on his musician skills and becoming a real musician. And what else? So this is... Oh, I know. It's one of those people who showed up at my house. You're gonna have to sell it, Ryan. Sell it to get some fame. How cruel, aren't I? Oh no, Pearl. You're an actress. You can't have this type of... Do your homework. Alright guys, I think I'll end this video off. In the next, hope you enjoyed this Let's Talk. If you enjoyed it, give it a big thumbs up. And if you're new to this channel and like what you see, please subscribe. It would help this channel a lot. Don't forget to hit the bell notification so you'll know when new videos are coming out. And I will see you guys in my next video.